it. Just getting some things together here. Happy whatever day of the week it is and whatever your calendar is. Today I'm going to be showing folks how to write books in Minecraft and how to use basically how to use Minecraft as a space to structure and sort through research and how to curate a digital library. So I have a couple of deadlines coming up on Friday for writing a paper and applying to teach some classes in the fall. So the example that I'm going to use of how to write a book in Minecraft, I'll be using research that relates to my investigations into the status and origins of the University of Hawaii system in the context of the U.S. military-occupied Hawaiian Kingdom. So I have a paper from last semester that was not well written that I need to rewrite, and I'm going to show you how to do some cool things with books and research in Minecraft. So right now what you see me looking at is through the different documents on my page, on my Word program. So okay, I have that final paper. Here we go. I pulled up these notes toward an intellectual jubilee that I wrote for a class yesterday. And then, okay, we'll just run with that. Okay, let's get Minecraft going. Actually, first, I'll go ahead and pull this up. This is popping up. Okay. So we're going to be utilizing one of the tutorials here, except you'll get some more support through this video because it'll be live. So we're going to be working in the Stardust library on the Minecraft Multiversity server, and we're going to be using this book editor tutorial. Here we go. Ooh, I need some Java. Oh, and you know what? I think I'm gonna add. Let's see, is this extra one showing up? No. Okay, so search Twitter hashtag. Okay, I guess MV808 is not as unique of a hashtag as I thought it was. That's interesting. I was going to try to allow people to participate via some hashtag or another and have that feed show up in my OBS thing here, but maybe that's not a good idea. We'll do it like this. We'll say MV808 4717. Since that's the year that we're in. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and go to OBS. And I'm gonna add image. Yeah, I think I need some lo-fi beats going here. Lo-fi. Do one of these live lo-fi things. There we go. That's helpful. Okay. trying to add the Twitter feed. Twitter, Google. Create new. Okay, so now I'm going to test this. And like I mentioned before, at some point I'll try to have a Google or an OBS and Twitch tutorial to show you more behind the scenes how I'm managing this broadcast. Now I'm going to take my phone here and I'm going to tweet something to MV8084717 and see if it shows up live or if I have to refresh that Google Chrome window for it to work. Because if it shows up live, then we can use Twitter as a way for folks to engage with the course. MV8084717 to join the encounter, we'll call it. Okay, so as you can see here, I just composed this tweet. And we'll see if I just hit send right now. Is it going to show up? Yeah, it looks like I have to refresh it. Reload. Oh. Well, there's probably some other way. There's probably like another plugin or something that I can use for that. But we'll just use Discord then. So folks who want to join live chat, we'll do it this way because this is live. And I'm doing this since somebody mentioned last session that you were not able to do anything in the chat because you didn't have a Twitch account. So I'm trying to remedy that now. So, by the way, if you go right now to tinyurl.com/MV8084717 to the live syllabus, I have links to join the Discord chat, which is going to show up soon. I should have had this system fleshed out like before day one and picked how we were going to do this. So, my bad for that. Okay. So I'll put this actually at the top of the document. Watch That's how it works. It's the basic idea. You watch the live broadcast here, and if you want to engage, you go to these links. Finish confirming. Yes, Discord, I did in fact try to log in. It was me. Logging in as Mad Professor. I have a Mad Professor handle, but I'm logging in with this one apparently. So many me's. Okay. Now, I should be able to follow this link. Here's the text channel. Here's the voice. And I am connected on the voice channel, so if you need me to hear you, if you join the chat using this link here, if you join the live voice chat, my mic isn't coming through there because it doesn't need to, because it's on the broadcast. But if you join and you speak on the voice chat, then I will hear you directly, and you will also be in the broadcast. So feel free to join there. I'll try to periodically text or check on the text channel for any interactions there. So now we can move on to what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and open up Minecraft. I'll focus on just the book editor for now. There's other cool things that we can do that I might get into today, depending on how much time the book editing stuff takes. It's all coffee. Whew. So I'm launching Minecraft right now, that's what's going on, in case you were wondering. Oh, I guess I need to keep this up in case anybody joins. Let's see, actually, I guess I'll go here real quick. Post the Discord link on the channel. Oh. see, I don't know what it said we were doing today on the schedule that I set up, but all the different games that I selected on these are Twitch plugins or add-ons or something. I don't know what they're called. But these panels I was able to add, and it's very useful. Oh, okay. So here I guess it already is showing the Twitter. So maybe that means if you tweet at me, I don't know how I can get this to show anybody else's tweets, but forget that way of engagement. Just focus on, if you have something to say, either put it in the Twitch chat, or better than the Twitch chat is just click on these Discord links over here. This one, the first one for voice, the second one for text. You don't actually need, should be able to join as a guest. Where did it go? This window up here so that as I move on, any of your discussion stuff should show up here and on the broadcast. Boot. See, there it is. Okay, so that means we're going to need to pull this book editor tutorial over to another window. And I need to go to my broadcast and make sure that that's going to show. So I'll go add window capture book editor tutorial. Call it. So this is going to be useful to follow. You know, I promised last time I would jump into Fortnite today, and I'll try to keep that promise. But right now I'm doing the book editor because I have stuff that I need to have worked out about particular sources for my own deadlines, so that's what I'm focusing on. So you should be able to find this if you go to agilexps.wordpress.com and find the book editor tutorial. Let's see, where's our Minecraft? So I'm going to play on the Minecraft window here, and I'm going to add that window using OBS. Oh wait, it should just show up. There. So as soon as the game launches, here I'll add the launcher too so you can see that there's activity. Window capture, MC launch, we'll call this. There you go, see? It's launching. Yay. Syllabus. Firefox window open still, and I think that's using a bunch of memory. Just closed it. So while this is loading, I'll show you, we're going to be taking a couple. Oh, that's not a good one to use. I'll use this window to show you. So we're going to be adding taking care of the forest. I guess I can just click the links in the PDF. Oh. I hear a bunch of beeping. What's happening? Somebody's talking in Discord. This is me waiting for Minecraft to load. If it doesn't, oh, it did load. I see the successful launch, kind of. A little timer thing going here. If it doesn't launch this thing, I'm gonna have to reduce the complexity of this broadcast and perhaps get rid of the music. I don't know. Down anyways. Okay, we have launched successfully the Minecraft. Okay, so we'll make this a different size. go, for anybody who wants to join along, we go multiplayer. And yes, we're going to allow Java to do things. Microsoft allow access. That's great. So how to? Oh no. Whatever. So I'm gonna add server. Call it Minecraft Multiversity. You can name this whatever you want, but here's how you get there. You type 8.g.akliz.net. Whoops, I clicked cancel. Minecraft Multiversity. g.backwiz.net. Done. There we go. We're going to click it to join. And usually, since we have so much stuff happening on the server, it'll be kind of laggy when you first get in. Oh yes, custom resource pack. I would like to download and install automatically, please. So that resource pack is for the Magic Wands plugin that we use. It gives everybody, well, it doesn't just give you Magic Wands, you actually have to get it somehow. But there's special texture packs and graphics that the resource pack adds for the Magic plugin. I'm just going to patiently wait and not try to mess with it while it's doing this, because I might cause it to crash. Oh, wow, I don't need all of this chat from your weird lo-fi hip-hop thing. I did in fact click yes already, and it's giving me the timer thing. I'm kind of surprised that it needs to download it for me now, though, because I thought maybe there was an update or something, and now I have to reinstall it. Okay, so here we are inside the Minecraft Multiversity. So we're actually there's many worlds inside this Multiversity world. We are inside the Hawaiian Kingdom world, and we're on the Big Island, or Hawaii Island. And so I'm going to type /fly. Show you this map. So this is a map of all the ahupua'a. And basically we're in the jungle somewhere, and we don't actually know where we are. And our mission, I planted this map for my students to say, okay, we're somewhere on this island, somewhere on this map in the jungle, but we don't know where. How are we going to find out where we are? And they came up with a plan that we're going to venture out of the forest until we get to the shore. Once we get to the shore, we're going to start trying to map the shoreline using Minecraft maps, and then we're going to bring them back here and compare them to the shoreline that we have on this map to see if we can find out where we reached the shore, and then start to map it out that way. But this image is using a plugin called Bannerboard. So that's how you get fancy images, and it could actually be higher quality. It could be sharper, but I dumbed it down a little bit so that the server doesn't have to use as much resources to load it. Now we decided we want our community here to be multilingual. So this is where all of the wood that we collect is supposed to go in this chest. So we created signage that labels it as wood in several different languages. There's always more languages that we could add. That's what we started off with. So this is a project in the middle of the works. This is our shared golden shovel that we use for property claims. So that protects this property in a certain way. So only people who are trusted in this claim can build and mess with stuff here. These are cocoa beans. Oh, look at that! I leveled up because I'm a farmer. So I leveled up from grabbing my cocoa beans. Now I can plant some more. So let's do that. But now I'm actually going to show you something that I told you I was going to show you. You just happen to get a peek of this place because it's where I spawned. What is that beeping that I'm hearing? I think that's a beep from other Discord channels that I'm a part of. Okay, so I'm going to teleport to a different place in the multiverse using /multiverse teleport anchor spawn. So you can set different anchor points in different worlds, and that's the command to teleport there. So here's the spawn world. We're out of the Hawaiian Kingdom world, and this is just a randomly generated Minecraft map. That's where our spawn point is. Oh, look at that. Welcome to the Agile Multiversity. Cool. Okay, so step on plate for Multiverse Navigator book. I need one of those because I'm going to take you to the Stardust Library. Go Hawaiian Kingdom again. I think I mentioned this last time. It's actually a 1 to 30 scale, not 1 to 5 scale. So we're going to go to the Hawaiian Kingdom Multiverse Archive and the Stardust Library. And I have some sources that I want to add to this library that is still under construction, as you can see. Here we have, oh, aloha and welcome, Hawaiian Kingdom Multiverse Archive. Step on plates. So, difficulty, peaceful. Go away, zombies. Thank you. So, for example, this is an example of a book I'm going to show you how to create. So, this I adapted from here. So you can actually, oh, this was before I learned how to hyperlink. So you cannot, I need to update this one. Oh, no, there it is. So if I show you, this is the material that I wanted to adapt to this book. And I'll show you how I did it in a second. But first I want to show you the original source. I should have just said copy link. Because now it's using Firefox because that's my default browser. So here, copy to clipboard. And I'll go to the book editor tutorial window and use that one. V to put that, paste that, or Velcro the link into here, and you'll see where I got the material from Kamehameha Schools to put this Ehomai Oli as one of the first books that people grab when they go into the Stardust library. So here was the material, and all I did really was highlight it, copy it, and then I pasted it into this Minecraft editor. If you just search this, if you don't use the link on the tutorial that I posted, if you just search Minecraft book editor, the first one that'll pop up is minecraft.tools. And this place has a lot of very useful tools for creating code to create items in Minecraft. So I don't know a lot of coding. I'm learning coding as I go along by using tools like this. So first I create a book in this, and then when I find out that I need to make edits and modifications, I can actually go in now. I've learned how to edit the strings of code to fix the books and update them. So I'm just gonna hit Control A, Control V, and then I decided how I wanted to format it. I didn't actually, so if you look, so this is each page, and if I click, see I pasted all of the text on one page in this instance. Then I can click Book Preview, and as you can see, can you see? Yeah, that is showing up. Let me fix it a little bit on here. So as you can see, when I hit Preview, a bunch of the words run over, but I can use this preview to figure out where I want to cut off the text and move it to the next page. So to be safe, you kind of want to stay away from the bottom, from this bracket and below. So I'll cut it off after concerning we'll actually take it at concern. And then we'll hit next page, Control V, and of course you probably would want to do some. Well, let's take the opportunity now to actually fix this book and make a better version of it. So no, we'll do one step at a time. I'm just going to show you how it's done, and then I'll show you how to edit it. So now my preview is updated. Oh, and so here's where the trick is you have to get used to hyphenating things to do your own line break. So here I'll maybe put a dash in after the A. And if I update the preview by going forward and back, now you can see that Auntie Edith's whole name actually shows up instead of running off the page. Go next page, and again, I'm not structuring this how I actually would want to have a side by side. Where's that 0 come from? Does that show up in the original? That's weird. Oh, it's because I wonder if they intentionally used a 0 instead of an O there, and why that is. So I guess we'll leave it as they did it. So if we want to keep this formatting, there's a couple ways we can do this, right? We don't have the same amount of space as they do on this web page to do a side-by-side version. So I think the best alternative in this case would be to do Olelo Hawaii one line and then translation directly below. Or that's what I'm going to choose to do. Maybe that's not the best choice. I think that's how I did it in this one. Yeah, so there's the first line, with the translation below. Concerning the hidden wisdom of songs, and then of course people who know this chant knows that it will actually keep going on and is repeated. Just about that a little bit. But I'm not actually qualified to teach on this chant, on the subject of Oli. I'm just teaching you how to translate things from real world texts, or I don't know, we call this real world and not real world, or what the appropriate language is, but I'm just trying to teach you how to make a Minecraft book here. I can't really teach you about chanting. You'll figure out however you want this. I'm not going to waste any more time doing this other than organizing the text so that it all fits on one page. So after composed, I'll move it over, select the rest, Control C, delete, new page, Control V. Look at the preview again. Okay, we'll do after or. After an event or. One way to quickly find is press Control F. On a Mac it might be Apple F for find. I think that works. Event or. Okay, so it found it for me there. Now I'm holding left shift and then down to select all of that text. The remainder on the next page. And there it is. We have a 4-page document. So, but if we see here, this is showing that it runs over the page a little bit. So, in order to fix that, let's put a hyphen after the ill. So now here in this version you can see when I have the item in my inventory, it's titled Eho Mai, and then it's got this hk.oli.0001. Now that is the Stardust library call number. And so anybody who is to contribute to this project will hopefully use that same system, and this is detailed in the Agile Open Command book. So if I grab that Open Command book, copy that link to clipboard, pull it up here, and this is where you can access all of the code that generates these different books that I've already been creating and that some of my students have created as well. So here I have a color-coded system for the state of the books. And so these are the different sections. So we only have one Oli in there right now, and it's Eho Mai. Seems like a proper place to begin. Or I thought it was anyways. So now, that's why in here, whatever it is you decide to title a book, if you want it to join the Stardust library, try to find if there's an existing call number or call number format section of the library, essentially, that it's going to fit in, and try to do that. If you need to create a new subsection within an existing section, just add an extra period. And so to break this down, this is HK is Hawaiian Kingdom, Oli, MC is Minecraft, .tutorial, .game, .enchanting, Minecraft, .tutorial, .game, mining maybe? Oh, monsters, hunting Enderman. I don't know, it's a questionable system. Totally would love anybody who has some library sciences background and who's thinking critically about naming and archiving systems to weigh in on this and help out. But just to say that you're going to put your title is going to be put Stardust library call number here, because then you can and then you put the actual book's title in the description. So this one is short enough where I was able to put a whole my and the call number, but some of them are not. Some of them are going to have longer titles and you will only fit a call number, so the call number should be prioritized in the title. For example, if you look at this, is a 3-part series published in NEA Today, that's the National Teachers Union of the United States. And this was published, see each one, I cannot fit the impact of the U.S. occupation on the Hawaiian people. That title, along with the call number, would be too long to put in this book title box. If you have passed a certain number of characters, which I think I specify the number of characters in this tutorial, it won't work, and it'll kind of break the book. And same thing with book author, you have a certain limited number of characters. And then in book description, you have to make sure to do line breaks after a certain number of characters. Press enter. Otherwise, when you're in the game, this window that pops up when you mouse over the item, that window will be too big, and some of this text will display off screen, and you want to avoid that. Just a tutorial book. So we're just going to go ahead and generate the command so I can move on and show you how this works. So it gives you this long command, right? And you can either use your mouse and highlight it manually and do Control or Apple C for copy, or right click and copy it, or you can use this handy button, copy. You don't even need to highlight the text if you use that, right? No text highlighted, just hit copy and it copies it for you. So now, in game, we're going to create a dispenser. But first, we need to be in creative mode, which is /game mode creative in vanilla Minecraft 1.13, but I have a special plugin on the server that allows us to use the older and easier commands as well. So then I'm gonna middle click to get a copy of this command block, but to make this a proper tutorial, I'll show you how to summon a command block out of nowhere in creative mode. So you just type /give Jeruvial, or whatever your avatar's name is, command block. That gave me a command block. Now I'm going to put it down. I'm going to right click it, and then I'm going to press Control V to paste that command that the book editor gave us. And then there's several different ways. You can use a pressure plate right next to, or even on top of a command block. So, for example, if I wanted it to be, if I want the circuitry of the command block to be totally out of view, I could put it one block down. Take this out, put it there, or even further down, and then have the pressure plate be on top. Like, see, this one will still activate. Oh, does it? Oh, I haven't. Oh, that's right. I have to fix this command. So, because of one of the plugins on our server makes some modifications to how commands work. If I want to use default or vanilla Minecraft commands, I have to actually type Minecraft and colon like that. Otherwise the command won't work. Now, you see, it says put Stardust library call number. So that's that book that I just created. Go back to my survival inventory. Okay, let's do /clear to reveal. Okay, see, I have nothing. Now I step on this, and here's that book that we just created. And I can also step on top of it. You can also use a button of any kind, or a lever. So if I throw a button right there, or directly on the command block itself, that will work. If I put a lever there, is that going to work? Yep. But levers sometimes have to be flipped twice. They do more regulation of redstone. I won't get too deep into talking about redstone, because redstone circuitry is not the point of right now. You don't need to know a lot to make this work. So we'll actually be adding a different book here. This one I'm not going to save to the open command library because it's not a new thing. But just to show you some of the things. Here's some of the things that we have, right? We've got, so this item shows up. I put just the call number, Hawaiian Kingdom, U.S. occupation, 1893, January 17th, by Hawaiian Kingdom. Original, Queen Liliuokalani and Hawaiian Kingdom, protest letter to Sanford B. Dole and the provisional government. So here you have a copy of Queen Liliuokalani's letter. I won't read it all out right now, but maybe I should. Protesting the existence of the provisional government. And so here I have just in plain text the URL, but then I also made a link, so that'll take you, I'll copy that to clipboard, and then I can show you over here where I got the original text. So here's the whole collection of the annexation false annexation documents. Not that the documents are false. The annexation is false. And I've made this whole collection, I believe. No, only some of it. Some of these things still need to be adapted to the Stardust library. And I'll show you now, let's show you how to hyperlink. So there's a couple things. You can, if you go up here, so we'll go back to our Ahomai book example. So this Minecraft book was adapted from the original text. Change my keyboard to Hawaiian. So say that's how we want to set it up. And we're gonna highlight the text that we want to hyperlink. And then we're gonna create a click event. And then we're gonna paste our URL. And that's going to make it hyperlinked. There's another set of click events though that we can do, right? So if we do create a click event, we can also make it run a command or go to a certain page. Now go to a page, this makes it so that you can create a clickable index in the Minecraft book. So if you have a full 50-page long or longer document, if you have a modded server or setup that allows you to have even longer documents, longer than 50 Minecraft book pages, that would be especially useful. But even within the 50 Minecraft pages, it's still useful to have a clickable index. And run command, this is how we use this is what I used for the Multiverse Navigator guide. So I'll show you what that looks like. You know what? Here. So if we go over here, I just realized that there should be multiple places to access the Multiverse Navigator guide in case somebody loses their copy, so they don't have to somehow find their way back to the spawn point. So we're gonna add that here somehow. So the item, do I have it backed up here? I don't think so. Control find navigator. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Right at the top. So much text. So this was the command that I had for it. So now in order to replicate this guide, I'm just gonna click this cell on the spreadsheet and do Control C. And I'm going to go into Minecraft. I'm going to create a command block here, and I think probably at the entrance is a good place to put this. So Control V, There it is. So I already had it saved in the cell with that Minecraft edition, so I don't need to add it. Press OK. Now we'll add you know what? I want to go back. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this multiverse navigator, how I was able to do this, all of these are clickable, and I could make it, and eventually will, hopefully, so that every time you hover over one of the locations, there's create a tooltip when mouse hover. So I could say Minecraft is a game, or is it a virtual environment, or both, and neither. So say I did that. That would make that pop up. I accidentally clicked a teleportation to this place again. So that's one of the things I need to fix in this book. So let's go ahead and do that. But first let's go back to return. Use the book. This is why it's useful to have a book, because I can't remember all of the different anchor commands. And of course there's lots of people that access the server that don't have permission to use commands, so they need a book to get around the multiverse. Okay, we'll go into the campus library for now. To fix this and move this knight's magic shop over to the next page. Okay, MV808, Why Kingdom port. Okay. So this is the teleportation room. This is the bedrock inn. Oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. I don't know where it took me. Different island. So this is built around where the new land that was created recently from the Kilauea eruptions. That's where this little entry house is that has direct portals to all the different islands. But we're gonna go. Oh, MBTP. Hey, Monoa. We're gonna go to Monoa. Where I currently am in real life. Started building some educational stuff out here. And this teleporter takes you back to the library where we were working. So, let's put up a sign. Oh, I need to do game mode 1. Every time I go into a different world, it resets my game mode to whatever the default of that world is. So I had to go back to creative mode. So I'm going to search for a sign. And we're going to put a sign on this. It says step on plate for Okay, and now I'll use this to show you. So how I was doing the command /mvtp a space a mono when I did that, or the one I was trying to do. So I think it's H. Is it Hawaiian Kingdom arc? Arc. There we go. See, that's what takes me here. So what's happening when I use this to get, can I go to the next page without clicking? Darn it. See, I need to edit that book because there's a clickable event that's on this button, so it makes this arrow difficult, impossible. I don't know why it's behaving differently now. Okay, so let's see what's going on with that. But basically, all that text I was linking in the editor. So I was it's built using these clickable events, so that each time you click on one of those words, it's going to teleport you to that anchor. But you have to be careful, as you can see, to not have a clickable event too close to these navigation arrows. Otherwise it becomes unusable. So we're going to fix that right now. In mode 1, we're going to upgrade the navigator. So if I right click the command block, Control A, Control C for copy, then I'm going to go to a Word document. Now you could use something like Notepad++ or Microsoft Code or some coding document. I'm using Word right now because I have it available, and I don't actually need to edit code. The formatting basically is not important with this, meaning that line breaks and spacing is not an issue because this is the code that this uses is just one long string. So that's why I'm using Word. But I can show some examples of using Notepad++ later. When we get to things that require that. Let me go to OBS so I can show you what I'm doing on here. So I'll add window capture, MS Word. Wow, looks like I'm going to have to use something else because OBS doesn't want to display MS Word. Alright, yeah, let's use Notepad++ then. Why not? So Notepad++ is a free code editing program, and it will work. Yes. Okay. Actually, I would rather just use like a WordPad or a regular text editor. I'm going to use ++. So, go to OBS. And do window capture. Notepad++. Okay, cool. It does want to display Notepad++. That's helpful. So, why don't we put this here? That's a good space for it. Okay, now I'm going to do Control V. And here, that one big long string that we're editing is here. So now if we go back to the game and we look at our multiverse navigator. Funny, I said I was doing this because I'm working on adapting some text about my writing. I was going to be engaging some of the forestry, Bureau of Agriculture and Forestry documentation around the founding of Hawaiian Kingdom University. But this multiverse navigator guide being broken is really annoying me, so that's what I'm doing now, instead of creating a new text. Okay, so this is where we got the string, right? This is the code that this command block is using to give us this item in the game, the multiverse navigator. That's what we're trying to fix. So if we find the spot in the book where it's broken, it's right around this Knight's Magic Shop. So I'll press Control F in here and I'll find Knight's Magic. Oh. Well, it uses, could do English. Let's do Magic Shop. Okay. So this is where it's broken. And there's a way, you can tell there's a certain way that it transitions, that this code tells the game when it's going to do a page break and when it's going to create a new page. And in order to find out what that is, you just look in the document. This is how I figured it out anyways. Oh, there's that clickable event. So if I look at where it says click the name of location in this book, so there's actually more text that's cut off. So somewhere there's actually more text that the code is saying to put on page 1, but page 1 in the game doesn't actually have room for it. So we're going to have to add a new page before it starts this Spawn of Worlds list. So let's go here, click the name of location on this book, click the name of this book. Okay, it says to go there. So to go there, is still included on, is trying to still be included on the first page. There's a couple ways we could fix this. I could back it up and get rid of the line break after world, and it'll all fit on the same page, or I can create a new page. I think for now we'll go ahead. This is going to be kind of a tedious process. And right now I just want to fix the major things. So click the name of the location to go there. So this is what I'm gonna fix. I'm gonna get rid of that line break. So this is the code, I guess, that it's using to do the line break. So we fix that to go there. Now let's just copy this code and replace it. Replace the command block text here with the updated code and see if that fixes our problem on page 1. Here. Okay, see, there we go. I just fixed it. Now the next problem is this Knight's Magic Shop. It looks like we shouldn't try to have anything past the healing center on page 2, because anything on this bottom line, it looks like, is at risk of being a clickable event. So let's say Magic Shop. Healing Center, Knight's Magic Shop. I think there's something that's happening after that. So we'll just try to create a new page. It's going to be... Okay. So we'll take this string, because it's actually been teleporting me to the Miners Guild local when I try to click the arrow, and that's what this text right here is doing. So even though it's not showing up on the page, that clickable event is still showing up there. Okay, so then the next thing it's showing is train station. I believe the train station actually is on the next page. So, MV808, let's go back there. But, okay, so here, this section, where you get the brackets, is how it's showing a new page. Train station. Oops. Definitely don't want to type in there. Okay, so we're gonna take this stuff. Once we see this bracket, Miners Guild local on command. So this A anchor mine, that's the command that it's issuing every time I click this arrow. It's actually issuing this MVTP anchor mine command. So that's why we're going to take this whole block and move it to another, create a new page with it. But it's important to do this properly, and this section here is where we see a new page being started. So we'll keep everything behind the comma. We're going to grab and I'm not actually a coding person, even though my name is Cody. Okay, so it's a magic shop. What's going on here? I think I accidentally deleted a bunch of the text. So let's make sure that starting with Knight's Magic Shop over, we're going to move to a new page. So I'm going to take this to the end of the page that it had, including that quote. We're going to Control So the important thing is to make sure that this ending sequence is going to stay the same. So I already have on the clipboard copied what we want on the new page that we're going to insert. So I'm going to take everything before the quote mark, and I'm going to go back to the last section that we still want on this page and try to keep it the same. So right before the magic shop. It's incredibly difficult. I think this is why I use a different program, because for editing long strings of code, it's better to use Notepad or WordPad or Word because of this scrolling back and forth. It's easier for me to see the patterns and work with. Notepad. So I'm going to try to open Notepad and work with it in there, because it turns out Notepad++ is not good for editing long strings. Let's see, I'm going to check my Twitch on the phone here to see if anybody's following and if we have any questions. Regular Notepad. Okay, let's try this instead. So get rid of that. We're going to add window capture, Notepad, and here we go. Untitled Notepad. Back to the game, grab from the command block because we know that that's working. Oh, this is still all very long strings. It's a little better than the other one, but I recommend using. Do I have LibreOffice installed? I think I do. Okay. If OBS will display the LibreOffice writer, that's what I'm going to use, because it keeps the whole string within one field of view, and that's easier than trying to scroll back and forth when trying to edit these strings. So I'm opening LibreOffice, which is a wonderful free and open source software that's a good alternative to Microsoft Office. If you don't have a license for it, or if you just want to not use Microsoft products for whatever reason, I highly recommend LibreOffice. So we're going to do window capture, Libre Writer, add new, and there we go, yay. View. Full screen. Full screen. So here's our string of code. You can see it takes up about 3 pages according to LibreOffice. And let's go back to what we were doing. So we're trying to create a new page for the Magic Shop section. So we find everything. We're going to start with this curly bracket and go to where the page ends, just like this. So this is where the page ends. This is where there's a closed bracket, quote, and then this section is what, this is how the code is telling the game end this page, and this is how it's telling it to start a new page. So we can keep this whole string here. We're going to copy it, and then we're going to allow it to end right here. So if you notice, if I get rid of this quote, the quotation point, and then let it end with that other quotation point, try to keep the formatting the same, that should keep that page intact. I'm going to paste the copied string here, but I have to do the proper way of telling it to start a new page, because that was taken from the middle of a page that was already started. So I go to where it's starting a new page below, and I'll should be able to use that. So where is it doing that below? Wait. Oh, I should add a new. So when I see this comma, that's what I need to do. So add a new comma, and then between these two commas, paste that. So now, this is what I want to see between the end of a page and the beginning of a new page. Now I'm going to copy this beginning of a new page string and put it directly before my new page that I'm trying to insert. And now we're going to copy this and see if it worked. Again, I'm kind of a practicing novice at this, or tinkerer, so well, that's good. All of this showed up as yellow text, and the app P is blue, so in my experience that's a good sign. It looks like it's probably going to work. Step on the plate. Now if you'll notice here, it didn't stack with my old books. Even though it's the same name, the game knows that it's a different item, so it puts it in a new stack. Now look at this, we have one of 12 pages instead of 11, and we cut it off. Healing Center's there. Now we created a new page that just has these two spaces, Knight's Magic Shop. We can go there. That is working. We've got this giant mural to Hecate. And we have a place where you can buy a magic wand. Oh, $99,999, that's a lot of money. Okay, so that works. The Healing Center, teleport, still works. And I'm gonna have to modify this some more later, but we're gonna /MVTP today HK mark. Oh, there is one other thing I should adjust where it talks about scale 1 to 5. Yeah, so here it says 1 to 5 scale map. I need to make it say 1 to 30. Let's see other glaring things that I want to fix. I think I want to add a table of contents page here that will organize it by worlds, and then and then specific locations in each world. I think it's going to be a helpful modification later, but we'll leave this now. Okay, yep, that's where we are in the Stardust library. Okay, so we're going to copy this, we're going to update this again. Game mode. Should fix what it says about the scale. 1 to 30 scale map of the Hawaiian Islands, access to the islands, by portal room below. I'll go direct. Other views. Now I should take this code and I'm gonna go back here to the command book. I'm gonna update it. What I can do with these existing codes is if we want to keep previous versions, see, I should move this library signs. So this there's a library signs column on here, and that's where you're supposed to put code for the signs that label each entry. So like some of these have a more advanced signs using the sign editor, which is very helpful. It's an easy way to create multilingual signs you can use because it's difficult to type in different languages on the Minecraft signs themselves in game if your keyboard is not already set up to type in other languages. So this is one way to set it up so that other people can easily replicate this learning environment in their own Minecraft worlds. That's one of the main functions of this Agile command book, is to allow for that, and also to allow for people who aren't into this whole coding side of stuff or Minecraft at all to suggest different books. So I've started adding texts from courses and from my own research that are books that need to be added. So what I was going to add some today was some of this text from Kumu no Silva, The Power of the Steel Tip Pen. But first, let's finish what we were doing. So back to books. So I still have the new code on the clipboard. And maybe if I can move this whole column over. Does that work? Okay, that's good. Because I want more. I'll probably have to reconfigure this document soon to make it more user-friendly. But what I'm going to do is move this over to the old version. So now that becomes command version 1.0, and now I paste the newest version and command version latest. This numbering system probably doesn't make sense, but the idea is that you can keep moving over the older versions. That way if somebody needs to access the older version for some reason, it's still there, but the most updated version is here in this column. So now that that's there, I can copy this cell. Let's cover this work up. Clear my inventory. And then I'm gonna MVTP anchor spawn. And using the command text from the command book that I still have on hand, we're gonna fix this navigator guide at the spawn point. There we go. So I just updated it. I just right click the command block, Control A, select all the text, Control V for Velcro. That pastes the information from the cell in the Google spreadsheet that I had. Now when I step on this, it gives me the updated version of the guide. So now anybody watching this can actually log in if you using the same method and join and start building. The server's on and active pretty much 24/7, so I do encourage you to join on your own time to come check this out. We have a lot of different projects that are very nascent still and are just in their beginning, and hoping to have more folks join. So I'll take you to the Game Design Guild. And this is a place where you can check out our open badge system that we're trying to design using this resource created by the Design Principles Documentation Project. So this is how we're trying to create our own credentialing system using open badges. So this is some of the materials we'll get into further along in the course as you follow. Let's see, any questions, comments, suggestions so far from folks who are watching? Okay, I've got about 45 minutes left, so I'm gonna start a space for that Native Hawaiian intellectual history text by Kumu Noinoi Silva. I'm gonna add a new section to the library that's dedicated to that project because it's very crucial. There's a quote from my paper. I just quoted from it extensively. She talks about envisioning shelves of books. So I think I'll create, for now, as a marker, I'm going to put the image of the book, the cover. We'll create a banner board for it that shows the image of the book to mark that section, and then I'll also have the introduction and conclusion. Then I also want these texts from Ecoversity and Kuakanaka, these coloring books that are linked in our syllabus. So if you go, let's see, I'm going to pull up the syllabus so you know what I'm talking about. So you scroll down in the syllabus to the sources, You'll see there's several coloring books linked. And you know what? I don't think that go ahead and add Kumu Silva's books to the reading list because I don't think I have them on here. So they would both go right. So I'm going to have to update the PDF, a stable PDF link soon that I've been sharing as this syllabus evolves. And I've noticed nobody has, there are several people following this course, but nobody has actually done much with the syllabus, so. So this is the book that I'm talking about adding. Now, it's kind of too much to add the entire book, but I'm creating a section of the library that's dedicated to what she talks about in the introduction and conclusion. About envisioning a certain archive of Mo'okuauhau consciousness, which in order to know what I'm talking about, if you don't already, I guess you'll have to read the book. HK port instead of HK archive. Oh, let's get rid of this. Falling. Okay, so here's our One Kingdom Law section. Let's see, the intellectual history. Oof, I don't even know where to put this. Maybe we'll start it over here, right behind where the making begin with the machines. Place. not even going to do the whole intro and conclusion right now because it's a tedious process and it would be kind of boring to watch. But I do want to make a marker for the space. So I'm going to open up, you know what, it's too much. I'm just going to use the quote that I already have access to from my notes. Shelves. Okay, so we're going to go from here back to the book editor. The text I want. Preview. And then let's make sure to get syllabus, we'll go ahead and grab citation. Whoa. Copy. Page. Another way that you can try doing this, instead of looking each time at what the new preview shows, is you can just kind of count down to keep 11 lines per page. So if you do it like, it's kind of laggy. Google Chrome froze or what? What's going on here? Must have something to do with Chrome. See, this is when it gets dangerous using this editor. There's probably other ways to do this. I found JSON, which is a file format or a code. It's the way this generates the code. I found programs that will help you generate books, but this editor on this website is by far my favorite of the tools, but it gets risky. Even though you can save the project, if you log in, you can save the project and then edit it later. But you have to be careful, because sometimes if you're working on something that's up to 50 pages, if the browser crashes or you have some kind of problem, you might lose a lot of work. Okay, flimsy plastic. Let's go ahead with flimsy plastic. Move that to the next page. Here. We'll link to the UH library version because we have ebook access, and we'll link to the Duke so if people want to buy it directly from Duke, link the electronic version that UH library has for UH people. What a cloth. That's exciting. Oh, and I'm going to need this image. Save image as. I hope it's a PNG. PNGs are what I use for banner board. That's what banner board uses, I should say. So people can, there's open free access to the introduction, it looks like. So we'll go like this. On our book editor, we'll say, read the introduction. So there's University of Hawaii version, and then there's also, for subscribers to Duke, you can access the entire version of the book, which through University of Washington libraries I'm able to access, which is helpful. University of here we'll highlight this, create a click event, put the URL, oh that's the buy. This is what we want for the PDF. See, this is showing you my work here, right? Yes, it is. That's good. Okay, so post that there. Guess if you want, you could make the PDF dark red so people recognize that. Here is where you buy it from Duke. URL. And then I'll get the University of Hawaii version by going to here, power of this steel tipped pen Silva. That should pull it up. Use the link that has more information. So this says available online. So if I go click this citation thing and then I click permalink, copy permalink to clipboard, this is going to give me a stable link that will bring people directly to this version. But I'm going to have to put requires library access. And then similarly, I could put a Duke link, but I won't. Have shelves of books of the collected works of these kupuna. And study of our kupuna's thought worlds can really begin. And we'll be able to see who influenced whom and understand so many more references and where they came from. Okay, so here we get this problem. It says invalid book tag. That means I'm doing something in here that it doesn't like. It's probably in the description. So, this is a question for the archive naming, right? Because I personally am in favor at present of using the term Hawaiian Kingdom as much as possible to refer to this place, because the Hawaiian Kingdom is a nation state in its own right that has been totally erased by the United States, and its legitimacy and existence being undermined as a legal entity is a major problem that enables a lot of imperial or colonial or occupation related violences against Kanaka Maoli and all kinds of other peoples that are here, Hawaiian Kingdom citizens and otherwise. So, however, there's kind of a critical conversation around that, so I don't know if this belongs in the Hawaiian Kingdom section or if it's part of its own section. So I might group it with the Indigenous Futurisms, which is a section that we already created, inspired by making kin with the machines. I guess we'll put it there for now. Indigenous Futurisms. We'll do intellectual histories. Sure, let's give that a try. Generate the command. Okay, will it work with our new title? There we go. Flimsy plastic, copy shops, resources grow. There's our PDF link. There's our eBrary, link. And buy now from Duke. Okay, that's good enough for me now. I'll go ahead and build a sign. So eventually I want to have at least the whole introduction and conclusion of the book available in here. Not sure what that'll involve, but we'll see if it's possible. So IF dot intellectual history dot 0001. Silva 17. mouse over it in my inventory. A highlight of Dr. Illinois Silver is the power of the steel tip pen. See, I'm not sure about that author name. I should edit that because now, I should note I haven't requested direct permission from Kumu Silva on this. I generally don't. I generally just start putting stuff in here, but I will actually reach out directly and see what she thinks about this, and have any suggestions on it or not. Shortly, I will go ahead and just include a copy of this video and see if she's into having more of this on here or not. But the author name is an interesting section because it's a new text in Minecraft that has been adapted. It makes sense to note whoever's doing that adaptation, and I use the Minecraft avatar name here, but also the original author is important to include. So let's see. This, let's see, original adapted to Minecraft by Drew. I think that should make it clear. Oh, now it's doing that thing where it appears off screen. Oh, yeah, and you can customize this text that shows in the description by using the Tell Raw editor. If you want different colors and stuff to appear, you can paste code into this description area. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, I need to finish this and move on, so I'm not going to mess with that right now. Okay, there we go. That one appears off screen. This one does not. Now, I might get told that by Kumu Silva that she doesn't want anything to do with this and to take it down. I hope that's not the case. Because I'll actually go ahead and share something that I wrote in my that connects this text to the overall making kin with the machines purpose of this course. Conclusion. So the idea here is a lot of what is covered in the two authors that are covered in Kumu Silva's Native Hawaiian Intellectual History. It's a lot of kind of digging to see how the authors that she's writing about exercised what she's calling mo'okuauhau consciousness, or genealogical consciousness, of acting in the present to lay down certain clues and frameworks for our future descendants or ancestors to pick up, to have access to our intellectual worlds in the present, and that the newspapers, the Native Hawaiian newspapers, are where a lot of that work was done, and that's a lot of her work is focusing on bringing that out. And so I thought it would be useful to adapt a similar practice to this Minecraft world, where we can kind of do this kind of work that she's talking about in the quote that I put in the book that I just excerpted, but use it to offer sources into the library that will actually allow the characters and spirits and elements that are inside this Minecraft world itself to know more about their own ancestors. So if you think about it, this Minecraft world is being projected right now using all of these elements of the earth that have been extracted, in most cases very violently and in ways that are very damaging to the earth. And in a lot of ways Minecraft teaches extractivism. It teaches a very kind of very capitalist and colonial mindset and way of looking at land as something to be killed and extracted and used. But ultimately, as somebody who identifies with the earth, I don't think that it ever stops being the earth. So a lot of good work on that is covered in this book, this Making Kin with the Machines, which I highly recommend. I know I repeat that a lot, but check that out. You can get the full link in the syllabus, or you can log into Minecraft and read part of it here or go there. But if that's going on, then what are ways that we can exercise and mo'okuauhau consciousness in Minecraft and other virtual worlds, such that we can lay down clues and relations for the actual beings that are generating these images, right? Because all of these images that you're seeing through electronic medium are generated by our earth-based relations and the different rare earth materials that are extracted. So here's how I put it in my post. Let's see, I wrote, I'll move this over to the notepad so you can see it there. Oh, it's not there anymore. Here, I guess I can put it on the Google Doc, since that is showing up. that up there. So this is, I wrote my reflection piece was notes toward an intellectual jubilee, which is, the biblical concept of abolition of debt and ending of slavery is a jubilee. So I say, with that, this is what I wrote here. You can actually just read it. I don't want to read it out loud, except for the very last part. By putting more details regarding the pilina, that is relations of all lands and peoples and worlds, into the virtual worlds that are often seen as the inverse or opposite of natural, due to their being the end result of highly refined and violent extractive industry commodity chains, we might offer virtual trails of breadcrumbs in order that future sprites and pixels don't forget their sprite and pixie forms. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And for some reason, okay, there we go. Now those are linked. Okay, so that's on there. You can check it out. Maybe I'll have to reorganize that and add it to a different particular section. I think I have time to create a banner board. Sorry, I was going to jump into Fortnite, but I think that's going to require its own dedicated session, which I can do next week. So let's go images. Images.google.com, and we'll go book, and I'm gonna find a PNG of this. Now I found some JPEGs, and I can use the image editing program if I need to convert a JPEG to this is on target apparently. Okay, this will work. So what if we do save image as? It's a JPEG. Here, I'll just actually take a screenshot, print screen, and then I'll go to PNG. I don't have time to be editing images right now. Okay, we'll take the one from Amazon. It's kind of small. And it's JPEG. Okay. We'll edit the image. Except for I don't need to get into GIMP. I can just use bitmap. Better make sure to add the code to that command library. So, okay, right now I'm just opening up my pictures folder and finding the screenshot that I just took. So when I find that screenshot, I right click it and I'm gonna click edit, and that'll automatically open it in the Paint bitmap editor program. And I'll go ahead and show you how that works. OBS, let's add a window. screenshot, folks. So I need a JPEG. So I just want to be able to discover. I want to be able to display this cover in game. So I'm grabbing just this part, and I'm going to click crop, and then I'm going to click file, save as, PNG picture, and then we'll put it in our pictures. We'll say power of power. We'll just say power. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to go back in the game, and I'm going to show you how to use banner board. Where do we want this? Let's do it like this, VB create. So that's the command to create a banner board. Now it gives me these two blocks. So now that created a banner board. So that created a new file in my Minecraft server that's gonna allow me to tell it how to display the image that I want to display. So I'm gonna take that PNG file that I just created, causing some issues for the server apparently. It's kind of a big banner. I could probably create a smaller version of the book cover. It wouldn't cause so many problems. We're gonna really need to seriously upgrade this server if we're actually gonna be utilizing these methods in the long term. Because having a bunch of large files on display with a lot of people walking around is difficult. Okay, well, while that's happening, I'm going to go to backliz.net to grab my login information. So right now I'm going to backliz.net. You can't see it because I'm not displaying this window, but I grab the information for the server, how to access it. Using a FTP client. I've been using FileZilla, but I actually need to learn to use something else because I've read some things that there's allegedly people with FileZilla who use it to steal your information, different things like that. So I'm maybe not using the right go ahead and display this to you too. So I'll do window capture, FTP, file transfer protocol. That's what that stands for. Window capture, FTP. What's going on? No, oh, I accidentally clicked video capture device instead of window capture. Move, yes, add new. Window capture, FTP. Let's see, where's FileZilla? Okay. So this is the program that I'm using to add the file. I'll get rid of some of that extra stuff at the top that you don't need. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that. So in this folder, here you can, this is what the multiversity server looks like. So all these different folders, these are mostly the different worlds. I just created a banner in the Hawaiian Kingdom world. But we're going to go to the plugins folder. I open that up, then I open the banner board folder, and I open up the images folder, and this is all of the images that the plugin is using to display in the world. Now I'm going to find that screenshot, which I named power, and I'm just dragging it from the one folder that it is on my computer, and I drop it here. It says copy. Now it's uploading it. So now we see power. Okay, it's uploaded. So now the next thing to do is I have to edit the config file. So that's this config.yml that it's showing right here. I'm going to download it, but first I want to make sure, okay, it's in my temp folder. Let's go to the downloads. Okay, we can use it in the temp folder, that's fine. So I'm going to click download, overwrite, yes, that's great. Now I'm going to click, I'm going to copy this file path, c/temp, open it up. Now I'm going to right click that config file, and I'm going to say edit with Notepad++, which is this program that I showed you earlier. And you just get that, I think it's at notepad++.com. You just search Notepad++. Okay, notepad-plus-plus.org. So that's where you get this program that I'm about to show you how to use. So if you want to snatch that, notepad-plus-plus.org.